So I never ever want to make the first move. I never want to make the first move.
They just expected me to like be super smooth, super straightforward all the time.
If they like you, they will
Serve you.
They will look in your eyes. Or
Well, you have to at some point define the relationship. Welcome back to another episode of At Her Place with Megan and Sherelle. I'm Sherelle.
And I'm Megan.
Woo! You guys made it back. Good job.
Good job. You showed up. If you don't know us, we are wives. We have a little life together and we play music together. We have 2 dogs and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. We have a very chill life out here by the beach.
Yeah. How are you doing, baby?
I'm good. It's a nice little Saturday that we're filming today, so that's nice. I basically chilled for like the last, I don't know, I think I had a very chill morning.
You looked so divine. Like I went and did some dishes because I wanted peace in our house, and then I go over and you're in the bed, you've got your book, you've got your Switch, and like everything was set up so nice, and the sun was just like coming in through the window, and
I was just laying in silk sheets in a robe.
You just looked so divine.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
I love that relaxation for you.
I don't think that you had as relaxing of a time as I did.
It wasn't like chaos. I kind of got in the zone of cleaning everything, and then I had my little breakfast, and which was much needed. It was nice to kind of have a slow morning because I've been a little bit sick all week, and so have you. I feel like you could tell a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know, we've had some sort of like cold or something that we've been getting over. But last night was fun. We went to the movies. Yes,
we saw Dune 2. Is it Dunes or Dune?
I don't know. That's how much I know. I think it's called Dune 2.
Okay. With Zendaya and whoever that guy is.
Charlemagne.
Okay.
Timothy Charlemagne, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. So we never saw the first one.
Yeah. We had no idea what the movie was about. We looked it up and did like a 30-second synopsis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Basically our 2 of our friends, they invited us to a double date of sorts. And yeah, we were like, basically you had just finished reading a chapter in the Building a Non-Anxious Life book by Dr. John Deloney, and he's talking about building connection and, being intentional with your friends, but then also if they invite you to something, saying yes more often than not.
Which I'm guilty of saying no quite often because I like being comfy and doing things that I want to do. Yeah. Not that I don't love the movies. It's just I feel like really often we are so intentional that it's really nice to see like our friends reciprocating it.
Yeah. And I saw the name of the movie and I was like, I don't know what movie that is, but we are down. Let's go. Yeah. Let's have a good time. And that's exactly what we did. It was a very interesting movie.
First of all, I thought it was going to be 90 minutes. It was like 3 hours.
What's funny is you were so sure. Like, I still can't wrap my brain around
what?
It. When we on our way to the movie, we were like, oh, okay, we'll see. It's kind of futuristic. It's okay, very interesting. And you were like, well, we're leaving the dogs outside so they have water and all that. At least the movie's only going to be 90 minutes.
Yeah, because it's a long time to leave Kaya's.
You were like, and you said it like you knew it was a fact, like you had looked it up online. Like,
nope.
You were like, oh, you know what? Good thing it's 90 minutes. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's like a short, decently sized movie.
So then 90 minutes into the movie, and you're like, this is clearly not wrapping up anytime soon. You gave me a look.
I didn't really have a concept of time because you're watching a movie, but I felt like this feels long, and that's fine. That's fine. We're hanging out. We're with our friends. I'm getting a little bit tired, but afterwards I was like, man, like we were just like, oh, that was kind of long, and I was like, wait a second, did you say it was 90 minutes long?
It was like 2.5 hours.
So why did you tell me that?
Well, don't know. I feel like most movies that come out are like 90 minutes.
It was just like a strong gut feeling.
No, it wasn't even a strong gut feeling. It was just like general knowledge that I have that I applied to the situation. It's like, yes, if you usually go see a movie, especially if it's a standalone movie, it's going to be around 90 minutes. I didn't know that this was Dune 2. Like, I didn't know it was a part of a series. I didn't know that there was going to be another one after this. I didn't know it was based off of a 6-book series. Didn't know anything about it. All I knew was, Dune, probably going to be about 90 minutes.
You're so funny. I love that. But I had a nice time, and I liked holding your hand in the movie theater.
Eating popcorn. That was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How else are you doing? I think I forgot to finish asking.
I'm great. I feel a little frazzled, but in a good way.
Oh.
Just like we're doing a lot of things. We're creating a lot of things. We're doing a lot of things. We're seeing a lot of people. And I'm enjoying it all. It's all very busy. And it all makes me really, really happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel a little bit frazzled in the moments where everything stops. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot.
Like you're running. And then if you have a moment to just stop, you're like, whoa.
Yes. But at the very same time, it's like life is slowed down and we're spending a lot of time with Caius and like going on little day trips with him and doing little things.
Caius is one of our doggies.
Yes. He has cancer. So we're spending time with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like life is good and I'm just trying to find that sweet spot of like rest and action, like rest and productivity. How are you?
I'm doing, let me think about this. I always say I'm doing good, and I didn't really think about it because it's an easy answer.
I'm good. Very American. I'm good.
Maybe it's like, maybe the question is, how do you feel? I feel good. Sundays are, most of the time we try to keep them as our sacred do nothing days, recharge. And sometimes it takes me a few minutes to like really ease into that because I'm like, what can I do? What video can I edit? What pictures can I take? Or what, like just stuff for our YouTube, stuff for, I forgot to send this thing in the mail. It's like, what can I do? And so, yeah.
Well, I think we should jump into our topic today.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about, actually, I was in the analytics for our YouTube channel.
Nerd.
I'm a nerd.
What?
And I was like looking out, what do people who watch our stuff, what do you guys like? I was trying to learn more about you guys.
What are you thinking about?
And a lot of you guys on Spotify and YouTube and all those things are looking up relationship questions.
Oh, yeah. The complicated world of relationships.
Yes. And I was like, are you guys really like coming to our podcast to figure out your relationship advice questions?
Yeah.
So
and I mean, I get it too. I go looking for relationship stuff, and not even romantic sometimes. Like I'll go and listen to Esther Perel or whoever else on,
So we wanted to talk today about how do you know if they like you?
You know what you said when you said we should talk about this?
What?
Wait, what did I say? You know what I thought of when you mentioned we could talk about how do you know if somebody likes you?
What?
I thought of the song from Enchanted. How do you know?
Oh my gosh. I should have knew. I should have known you were going to do that. I like that movie, but it's just you quote it a lot.
I do. I guess I do. Break into song from time to time.
Time to time. You go through the morning singing. And I'm a grump in the morning. I'm like, zip it, Stoneson.
Some people would find themselves lucky to enjoy singing in the morning.
Why? Why would they find themselves lucky to sing in the morning? They could just do it if they like singing.
No, to have a partner.
Oh. I don't know about that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's not that I consider myself unlucky to have a partner who sings in the morning, but
how unlucky?
It's not that I consider myself lucky to have a partner who sings in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Okay. How do you know? You and I've had a lot of.
I feel like you've had a lot more experience with the person. You have been the person that other people have liked.
I've been the person that doesn't.
I have been the person to do the liking.
Okay, I have liked a lot of people. If I'm looking at my younger self, this is like really, really early 20s because I'm 27 now.
You're not that okay. Wow. Okay, yeah.
I'm just saying, like,
You like making it sound like you're so old.
hey, you and I
Are
like
5
it
years
or not,
apart.
You and I, like it or not, are 5+ years older than some people. We're also younger than some people.
What are you?
I'm just
What kind of point is that?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know where you're going with this either.
All I'm saying is I could possibly speak to someone that is similar to me.
You want to imagine little baby Megan Stonson.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Sitting across from you.
Thinking,
Wondering.
how the heck do I know if this person in front of me likes me?
Okay.
I really like them and I'm showing all the signs. Flipping my hair, batting my eyelashes,
gosh.
laughing, whatever.
Giggling.
Giggling. Yes. And how do I know if they like me? Because,
Have you been in that scenario before?
So before I met you, I thought I was straight. Whoa. And I really...
We all knew she wasn't. Whoa.
I liked a lot of guys. I was attracted to a lot of guys. There you go. And I had feelings for a lot of guys. And I just never knew... I had this picture in my head, which is probably part of the problem, that... I never, ever want to make the first move. I never want to make the first move.
That is still true today.
I never want to say how I'm feeling. I never want to give off anything. So I was probably really hard to read. So that's probably why it took so long for some people to say, oh, I like you. And by that point, I was like, I'm not feeling it anymore. Like I've already accepted the fact that there's things not quite right. And part of that is probably because I ended up with a woman, with Sherelle. There was always something that wasn't there, but I did struggle with knowing, how do you know if somebody likes you? I did struggle with that, especially if they never said it first that they liked me, because I would be hard to read, and so I don't know how I would have done that differently. So what was your experience?
I think
like?
My experience was different than yours, similar but different. I think I was very obvious when I liked somebody because I expressed myself quite freely.
What would that look like? Yeah.
Growing up or now?
Kind of like young adult times.
Okay, so like in my 20s, we'll go with that. Like when I was like late teenage and into my 20s. Well, it's kind of a little embarrassing. But
this is a safe space. This is our house.
Well, I just gave elaborate gifts, like very intentional, elaborate gifts. I was very free in telling people that I cared for them. I don't know. I had several crushes at different points in my life on people that were very close to me, like that I had friendship with. So very rarely did I just like somebody from a distance. I was like, I know you. I think that's true. That was true of me even up until I knew you. Like, I just didn't really like people unless I got to know them. So,
me too.
Anyway, so because they were like friends of mine, I had the relationship where we just had like that free flowing love and affection.
You already had the friendship without any weird, because it was mostly
for guys and girls.
Oh, yeah, guys or girls, you had a deep friendship with them.
Yeah.
And therefore you felt comfortable just being yourself and giving off those vibes. Was there ever... No, go ahead.
I was going to say, when I had a crush on like a hottie guy though, like...
We know who you are. You know who you are.
I don't think they listen to this podcast. There's a few of them, and they're extremely attractive even to this day. It didn't go that way. Sorry, boys. But I like girls a little more than you. Anyway, when it was like a hot, like a hottie guy, and there's like a type that I definitely have, and you know what type of guy that is. It's like tall, dark, and handsome, a little bit grunge, tiny little bit of bad boy, but super sensitive too. Always talented. Anyway, that's my type. Basically, I also want to like be that type of person. But anyway, when I liked a guy like that, that's when I would get way too like shy to talk to them.
Oh,
so
okay. You would go into the more like feminine, shy type of
like
thing.
I was, especially when I was like younger, I was like, I think in my 20s I was kind of over guys, but before then I would like, especially growing up, I just got like too shy to talk to the guys. So yeah, I don't know, with women it became like I'm the pursuer, and with guys it was like you're hot and all of my from a distance, but I'm way too shy to talk to you and I don't want you to pursue me.
So for me, I had so many weird experiences of I knew in my gut that somebody liked me, but I would not, and this is like you excluded, I wouldn't know for sure because
they would never
wouldn't
say,
tell me, or they wouldn't ask me out on a date, or it would be a hangout date, but then it wouldn't be specified as a date. So then I was like, I don't know.
Guys are weird like that.
Yeah, but I also just, I don't know. I never tried to get that clarity. I've never liked confrontation. I've never been good at like communication skills the way that I am now, with just being, I never felt comfortable being authentic and being truthful or honest. Like,
what would you have even dated them? Because you were like deep in the purity culture too.
I think I needed somebody, and that's part of the reason why I like you. I needed somebody that felt comfortable enough in their own skin and felt grounded enough in themselves to somewhat like reciprocate and pursue me, because I felt like I am a very intentional person. I'm afraid of being too much, like, but at the same time, if somebody came off to me like they liked me and like they came off as I don't know, for some reason sometimes when people clearly liked me, I was put off by that. All I could say is it was very confusing, which is why people are probably trying to figure this out.
Got it. We've both kind of been on both sides of this thing. I've definitely been in the scenario where I've liked women and not been quite as upfront, but definitely kind of like shown my feelings without saying my feelings. And you have been on the receiving end of people liking you but not really, you know.
Yeah, people giving up. There's probably so many situations where people give off vibes in both directions, but then either nothing happens or somebody moves on, or it's like, how do you know if somebody is into you?
I have a problem. So my life experience went like this, because like I grew up as a Christian in the church, and when I was in my 20s, I had a lot of relationships with women who weren't out of the closet yet. And a lot of them still are not out of the closet. So I had like these very intimate relationships that were like definitely not just regular friendships, but they weren't like, they were all in the closet, and a lot of them were in the closet to themselves.
That's kind of how we met, to be honest. Like, we became the best of friends. We had sleepovers. It was crazy.
Yeah, but I was like fully out of the closet.
You were, but I had no idea about myself. And so, yeah, like you were saying, there was that point of, this is more than a friendship.
Yeah, which is what I said when we were friends. I was like, I don't kiss my friends, just so you know.
Yeah. Here's when I knew you liked me for sure, because I could sense it in my gut, but I think the real question is like,
I'm curious about this.
Okay, so I could sense in my gut when we first started hanging out, I could sense that you liked me on some level, because I just like, even in the beginning, like I think my gut can tell when somebody is interested in me, but I wasn't interested because I know you're queer, you're out, you're so fun, but there's level of me that was like, oh, like that's not what I'm trying to do.
Here's the thing though, I wasn't.
Okay. That's the thing, but maybe there were some vibes given off.
There were vibes from both of us, because here's what you have to know about, or you particular have to remember about younger me, was like, I am a very charming person, and I was into like 2 other people at that same time. 3 other people.
Whoa.
And you at that same time.
Well, okay, basically what I'm saying is I could tell you liked me on some level.
Yes.
You even like, you grabbed your guitar and you played a song for me.
What?
Remember when you played like the cover song for me?
Oh, you were already staying over at my house by then.
Okay.
Here's the thing. So by then you already liked me. And this, you guys, this is like a still point of contention, because Megan didn't know she was queer. Like, she didn't know she had the capacity to like women. Oh. So there were like a ton of signs that you were giving off that you to this day don't realize that you were giving off. And I had a whole conference call with all of my friends and everybody who knew me really well and also spent time with you. And I pulled them in and I said, look, she does this, and this. And they said, that girl likes you. She just doesn't know it yet.
Okay. Here's where we are getting to the real question. Okay. I feel like.
Okay.
I feel like the question is not, and we're not experts by any means.
No.
We're just married. I feel like the question that past me and a lot of people are probably wondering is not, do they like me? How do I know if they like me? I feel like the question is, how do I know if they want to be with me?
Okay.
Because you're saying we gave off vibes. I was flirting before I even knew it, to be honest.
You were flirting day 1, like night 1.
Yeah, and I feel like this has probably happened with other people too. Of sure, you might be attracted to somebody,
got it,
and they might be attracted to you, but like, how do you know? You're not even sure. Like, maybe you're giving off vibes that you like them, but you don't want to date them, or maybe you want to date them, but you don't even realize it because they're your best friend, or like. So it's not the question of like, do you like me, but you don't know it yet, or I don't know it. It's like, are we going to go one step further?
Yeah. And if you look at our like dating lives, like if I look back at our history together, that's really how I progressed. Because even when I told you point blank, I like you, that didn't do a whole lot. Like, yes, it was the start of everything, but you were like, that's nice. I don't want to be queer. So we didn't talk for a few days.
I was not ready for the identity shift.
Yeah, it was like when you were ready to do something about it. Like, that's when things got going. Yeah,
like you said, I like you.
And
is this going to be something, or is this going to be a friendship? And to me, that was the most meaningful thing, because I knew there was something going on between us, and I liked it. I liked hanging out with you. I liked the attention we had for each other, the care we had for each other. I liked that we were like joined at the hip, kind of like just doing everything together. But there was that, like, there's a make or break point
where it's like, are we going to see what this is? Are we going to do something about liking each other or not?
Yeah.
That's a good question. So how do you know?
Yeah. Well, number one, obviously you have to like feel the vibes. And sometimes I know for me, more femme people, sometimes can be super bubbly or super friendly, but then like they are not interested. So that difficult.
Drives me crazy. I think it's super rude.
I mean, I get
as
it.
A
like
stud, as a masked woman, I'm like, that is so rude. How are you gonna be like all bubbly, but you're like not interested at all?
Yeah. So like with those types of people, maybe one way to know if they actually like you is doing what people normally do of, hey, do you want to hang out sometime, or do you want to go get some coffee?
That's
And
a good one.
Here's a note of caution. So Sherelle asked me out. She said
about this.
and she made the first move, so I knew she liked me.
I asked you out for sushi.
She said, do you want to go get some sushi? And I tend to get nervous, whatever. Like I take things really slow.
You're shy.
I'm shy. I'm afraid of people being like, I don't know, too interested in me, and I don't like them. Like I just don't know.
But you do it even with friendships. You're like, one-on-one friendships seems like a lot.
I guess I just think I don't want things to be too intense. So I think for me, I was averse to going on a straight one-on-one date because I tend to be attracted to people that can be casual. Like they can be really casual.
You didn't like the intensity.
Yes, I didn't want the intensity of let's sit across from each other and go get dinner. I was like, no.
I'm very intense, you guys.
Yeah, well, yeah, not in a bad way. Like
no, I know.
I love having deep conversations with you now, but like the entryway to my heart was like, can you be casual? Can you hang out with my friends? That kind of thing. And so when you asked me out, I said, yes, let's get a group together.
Well,
and
you didn't tell me that.
Oh, well, I said, okay, yes. And then I said, oh, I want to invite all these people.
Yeah.
And
well, yeah.
That's the word of caution. Because if you ask somebody, if you're like, I'm not sure if they like me, I'm going to ask them to go get coffee, go get sushi, whatever. If that person says, oh, let's invite a ton of people, don't automatically think that that is a no. Obviously, like, respect them, but
yeah,
that's might not be an indicator because they might be more shy, or they might want to see how you do around their friends.
They might want to get to know you more before they spend that like one-on-one time with you. Because when I asked Megan that, I think we had like exclusively hung out in a group up to that point, and not even for that long. It'd been like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So that's a good one, baby.
So, and then after that point, maybe you ask again. But the thing is just like not putting pressure on it. And if you're on the other side of that, like if you're more shy like I used to be, maybe if you're interested, you could be more intentional. Like, oh, they asked me out to go to sushi. Maybe I'll ask them to go do something next. Or like if you're wanting to keep like pursuing that. I don't know. So what are your thoughts of like, how do you know if somebody likes you? How do you know if somebody might want to be with you? Is that conversation? Is that like, how do you know?
I think, well, I'm an intense, deep person. So here's an intense, deep thought.
Okay.
Like I struggled with believing that I was lovable.
Oh.
So it took even my friends a long time of being intentional towards me for me to believe you actually like me. I got over that. I know I'm loved. But when I was younger, I didn't really know. So I think one of the things that stood out to me was like, oh, they actually really like me, was that when people were intentional with me specifically. So they would like remember for my birthday, like I had one person, I threw myself a birthday party. If you know me, you know I like my birthday.
Which, by the way, it's your birthday month.
Yep.
March 30th.
It's coming up and I'm excited. But I like celebrating it. I like a day that is about me, that I get to get my friends together. So when I was like fresh out of the closet and I had this amazing group of friends and I liked this one particular person, I kind of threw myself a birthday party at the beach, but like none of my friends were intentional towards me. Like I was the most intentional one towards them, but it just seemed like nobody really like gave a crap. Like, people showed up late, people didn't bring anything, it was anticlimactic, they were dealing with their own little things during my party, so it was just kind of a flop. And then this one person that I was interested in, she said, she kind of, I watched her face, she like looked at what was happening and she said, we're gonna do something after this. And she got like,
we need to step up.
Yeah, she got a fancy cake that is like one of those like fancy cakes.
Okay.
In that one place.
Ooh.
So she got like one of those, and it was like giant, and it was exactly my favorite type of cake. It was like triple chocolate, crazy, stunning.
Yum.
So she got that. We got In-N-Out and Red Boxes, and we just like hung out at her place with like her and my close friends after. And it was nice because it was like, she was intentional towards me. I didn't have to, you know, like I just got to receive. So I think that's one of the ways I know if somebody has feelings for me, in friendship or otherwise, is like, if they know me well enough to know what I need and they're brave enough to like be intentional in that way, because it does require bravery.
Yeah, I think it's natural. I like everything that you said, of just like you're giving and you're giving love, but like also having that sign of somebody making you feel special.
Yeah, and like, you did it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, just I think that's a sign that you could like each other if you're kind of depositing into this potential relationship. I am going to make you feel special at some points, and then if they make you feel special, then I think they could like you for sure. Yeah, because you could make somebody feel special and then they don't make you feel special, or they make everybody feel special in the same way. So then
yeah, the first one was what I was afraid of with you when we first started hanging out, because like it's been the story of my life that I will be the most intentional person in the room. And luckily, I have collected people along the way who are all at our wedding, who are as intentional as I am. But it took like a long time. So I was afraid when you and I started hanging out that like the first initial hangout, I was like, there's something different about this girl. I was right. But then after that, I was like, my fear was like, she's going to be like way too busy all the time. She's not going to put forth any like intentionality to get to know me. She's not going to pay attention to what I like. And you blew that out of the freaking water. Like you received, but there was a point where you stopped being the one who just received, and you like gave me, when we were just friends, there was no feelings announced or anything. Like we were vibing. But there was a point where I started to notice, okay, I think she might like me because she's giving this back, you know?
I like that. I feel like you can make somebody feel special and they can make you feel special. And then for whatever reason, they won't get to that step of, I want to date you. So how do you find out, how do you navigate, okay, we've kind of been giving off vibes, but are we going to be brave enough to take that next step? Or is it just me that wants to take that next step? Or,
well, you have to at some point define the relationship. But another sign that I recall with us was when, like, if they have expectations on you that are like beyond friendship level, like that's a good sign to pay attention to, because back around Easter time, your family was coming to town for the first time that I was going to meet them. We were just friends. This was like April. We didn't start dating until June. And you had all these like expectations on me. You were like, make sure you dress up and you don't just wear black because you're going to meet my parents. Make sure you're on time. My mom likes, even for your graduation party, you're like, my mom likes these certain donuts from this certain place. Like, you just gave me all these like expectations and ends. And I was like, none of my friends care if I make a good impression on their family.
Yeah. That's kind of wild. And I think I even acted that way before I fully knew that I liked you. But it was just, having those expectations. And I also had the expectations of, oh, you're going to show up for this thing with me, right? Like, you
just expected me to be there. You were like, oh, like if I was going home for the night, because you lived with all your roommates, if I was going home, you're like, okay, what time are you going to be here tomorrow?
Yeah, it was
just like, hey.
Yeah, and you probably had expectations for me that were just beyond friendship. What do you think?
Yeah, I remember specifically, I liked you, but this boy also liked you, who was a very cool dude. And I could tell like he thought you guys were like gonna be a thing.
Yes, which was tough because I had a hard time reading them.
Yes. Anyway, so my expectation on you, even back when we were friends, was like, it doesn't matter if there's another person in town who likes you. You and I are a thing. Like, even little things like you and I are going to be sitting next to each other on the couch. Like, that's my spot. You and I are going to be hanging out in the evening unless otherwise specified. Like, when you start to get those sort of expectations of, like, quality time together or expectations of them meeting important people to you, that's a sign that they like you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. What if there's somebody what if the lines are blurry? Like, okay, we make each other feel special, or at least I feel that way. We kind of are even appearing to be a thing. But then nobody ever, like, I've had it before where I'm interested in a guy, he's interested in me, and we drive to certain places together. People start seeing us together. How do you know, like, I feel like sometimes there's just that point where one person fizzles out. And for me, sometimes it's been the other person, like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And in their mind, they're like, oh, this wasn't really a for real thing, or I don't know. Like,
well, people do that. In my experience, guys in particular do that. It feels kind of gaslighty.
Yeah. And guys listening to this, like, tell us what you think, because we're coming at it totally different.
Well, if you're listening to our podcast, you're not one of those types of guys. Like, you're probably really intentional and honest and authentic.
You're probably awesome if you're
listening to this. You probably are
this.
People if you're listening to this, and we love you.
We know a lot of guys that are super sweet and they're with their lady.
But the guys that you liked back in the day were not, I would not classify as very intentional and straightforward with their feelings. And I think a lot of them might have been like, what do you like?
Well, that's kind of rude. Like,
am I gonna listen to this?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, no, you are right. Like, they didn't really make, I was afraid of being too much, I guess. And they didn't really do much to, like, dissolve that, if that makes sense. Like, they weren't, I don't know. I
think you were like a little traditional.
That's like what I said earlier, is I think that was part of the problem.
I think you wanted someone to pursue you. You didn't want to pursue somebody else. And when we got together, that got thrown on its head. Yeah. Because like I was like, you better pursue me too.
And you matched my, like, I'm the type of person, if I like you, I want to text all the time. I want to hang out.
Found that out fairly quickly. I found out fairly quickly that when you like somebody, you expect to be in constant communication with them.
Yeah, but I don't want them to be like too. That's the thing, is I think this is the traditional part of it, is I used to want people to be really intentional with me, but not needy, and casual, but really intentional, like that fine line. And that's just a lot to ask. I don't know.
And I'll say, from the flip side of like being a mask woman, a mask queer woman, a stud, if you will, people expect you girls out here expect you to like,
girls out here.
they just expected me to like be super smooth, super straightforward, super intentional, super caring, all the time. And it's a lot to be the one to constantly have to like put yourself on the line all the time.
You know what I've learned in our marriage too?
What?
Is sometimes I would try to put us in those boxes of, oh, I'm the feminine one, you're the masculine one, and you need to give me more attention, or you need to be more like pursuing me. Even in our marriage, like I have learned so quickly and so deeply that you are a woman too, and you have a sensitive side, and you basically need me to be intentional with you and to love on you, and just as much as you love on me. And I think that's a very like,
it goes both ways.
Yeah, it's just like a traditional thing that I used to think of. Well, I can sit back. I don't need to do anything. I just need the man to bring me flowers and text me and invite me to stuff. Like, kind of just like.
Yeah, we've had conversations where with like even arguments where I've been like, I am not a man.
Like, yeah, like I need you
and
to
also
step up.
men need to be free to receive the pursuit of their women or their partners in general. Like, it needs to go both ways.
Yeah, it's just, it needs to be equal. Like, the woman needs to be intentional and communicative, and the man needs to also
be intentional and communicative, and the woman needs to know how to give gifts and, you know, like thoughtful gifts and care for their person and see them. And it also needs to be flipped. Like,
yeah,
it goes both ways basically.
And obviously, if you're queer too,
y'all know already. Like, it just goes both ways. Those gender norms just kind of go out the window.
Yeah.
And it gets messy if you try to apply them.
Yeah. Us women, we can step up and say how we're feeling, or define relationships, or invite the other one to a coffee, and then guys, you can be more, I don't know, more communicative and more excited or more upfront. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some wiggle room for the gender norms to help with this issue. Yeah.
Yes. I think another way to know, and we kind of touched on it before, another way to know if they like you is if they like want you, like if they want you to start like meeting their people. Like, you introduced me to your sister and you were very like, here's my sister's number, you should text her, get to know her, blah blah. Like, you were very like, get to know my friends and my family. You invited me in to see your friends. Like, when we were just vibing, you brought me into your world. And I was a little bit more reserved in bringing you into mine, because mine is a little crazier than yours. And I was like, look, my parents not going to be down for this whole thing. It's going to be a very big deal when I invite you in.
Yeah. Definitely. But I felt really invited into your friend groups, and you have a lot of friends that are basically your family, and I felt invited into those friendships, and so I think that was really special too.
I think practically, I don't know if everybody has. Okay, so I'm speaking specifically to you who might be in the scenario that I caught myself in, where I was with you, but not like with you. And I was trying to figure out if you liked me. So some practical signs that I found out that you liked me were like, you would stay over at my house. Like, you just took up your space in my place on a regular basis. And we weren't having sex. It wasn't like we're having sex, we're making out, or anything like that. It's just like, as friends, you were constantly in my space, and you made without me even asking for you to be there.
You made me feel comfortable with that too. Like, you weren't awkward about it. You made me feel like I was welcome too.
Another thing was like, when saying goodbye in the evening, there was a point where I realized you liked me. When you like, your hug just felt different.
Aww.
Like it hit different.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like a closer than friends hug.
Yeah, you like wrapped your arms around my neck and you pulled me in, and I wrapped my arms around your waist, and it was like we'd hugged like that before, but this was like a different type of hug.
Yeah. I think when it came to that point, when you said we are acting like more than friends, I don't do this type of stuff with my normal friends. I don't even know if you said, are we going to be more? I think you just laid it out there.
I think I laid out all of the things that you and I were up to. And I said, this is not. You're like, I just want to be friends. I said, this is not how I have friends.
This is not how the category of friendship. Like, I don't sleep in my friends' beds. I don't make breakfast for them in the morning. Like, that type of stuff.
No, and I am affectionate with my friends, but like, I'm not wrapping my arms around Emily's neck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So when you said that, I think it came from, like, you seemed very grounded in what you knew of yourself and what you knew of your friendships, your relationships. Like, you knew what you deserved, you knew what you wanted, you knew what you didn't want. You were basically saying, like, I need some boundaries. I either need this to be in the relationship box or I need this to be in the friendship box. And that's what I need. And I really look back and respect that, because I just think in order for that to happen, somebody needs to have a grounded sense of self and a grounded sense of what they want things to look like and who they are. Because if you don't know yourself very well, or if you're feeling comfortable with being authentic with somebody, like, I really struggled with fully being authentic with people. I grew up very like Christian background, and with that, there's a lot of things you don't do or you don't share, or you're not honest about. And so I don't know, I think that was an issue for me. And so in order to really know if you like someone or if somebody likes you, you have to like be okay without it almost. Like, you would have been okay without it. And I even said, I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. And you were okay. Like,
I was like, fine.
You were like, I'm freaking
and it
fine
wasn't
by
even
myself.
it wasn't even like a defiant, like, well, fine. It was just like, well, then you don't get this.
Yeah, it was like, all right, well, then things are going to have to change. Even just for a little while before I came back and said, let's hang out.
It was like, look, I'm going to need some time to get over you for a second and to switch into friend mode, because you know, she still mattered to me. Like, I still wanted you in my life. I wasn't like, if you're not with me, then I don't want to know you.
Wasn't that's the thing, is some people, they might be insecure in themselves. So they might be like, okay, well, fine. You know, they might be like,
which is like my first petty reaction internally.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying some people are not able to go back to being respectful friends.
Oh, okay.
They can go back to, well, you didn't want me, so, and that's not healthy. That's not good.
That's kind of toxic. The thing is, like, I care about you. And back then I cared about you beyond, and I respected you and what you wanted, not just like, well, either you're going to be with me or I'm not going to grace you with my presence. Like, that's lame. Like, then if I had acted like that, then obviously I didn't really care enough about you in the first place.
Here's another one. If somebody likes you, I believe that they'll make you feel respected about yourself. I think so.
They should.
They should respect you. Yeah.
I think that if they like you, they'll remember like important dates, and they'll start to do little favors for you. Because like when we met, I had gotten a major back injury, and you drove me one time or two times to my physical therapy appointment because injury, you know. So you like dropped me off, and I came into the physical therapist's office like cheesing, And
Yeah,
she was
you're like,
what's up? What's got you smiling? You're injured. Like, why are you so happy?
why are you so
I was like,
this girl drove me here.
This girl drove me here.
Aw.
And she said, your girlfriend said, nope. And she's like, I'm glad you have somebody special.
Aw, that's really sweet. Okay, so we've talked a lot about our experiences. We've talked a lot about our marriage. We've talked about just everything. Maybe we should do like a TLDR.
What the heck is a TLDR?
Too long, didn't read or don't read.
Okay.
Basically like a little summary.
Okay,
Little
got it.
snippet.
Okay. Rapid fire. If they like you, they'll blah, blah, blah.
Yes. And here's another one. And this is homework for you guys. Whether you're with somebody or not, in the YouTube comments, in the Spotify question and answer, tell us if they like you, they will blank.
Blank.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do this. Let's do back and
Okay.
forth.
I'll ask you.
Okay.
If they like you, they'll.
Okay, wait. Okay. Okay. They will look in your eyes. And this is discounting people that are on the spectrum, because they might not look you in your eyes, but most people will.
Or people that are blind, because they might not be able to.
Yes. Most people will look in your eyes if they're interested in you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If they like you, they will
Tell you.
Oh.
That's my first.
Hopefully
that's the most important. But at some point, if you're a mature human being and you like somebody, or they like, just communicate. Tell them.
Maybe you could tell them either way.
If you like them, you can make the first move. You don't have to sit there and wait for them. You can just tell somebody that you like them.
Okay.
But, be strategic with it. Okay. If they like you, they'll.
Okay. If they like you, they will either, in bachelor terms, invite you to a one-on-one or a group setting. Not a group date. Like a group setting with them and their friends. They will invite you to see their friends.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
If they like you, they will
communicate. Like, they'll be texting you, they'll be calling you. If you guys are at a group thing, they'll be finding a way to talk to you one-on-one.
Yeah, or they'll text you and say, "Oh, did you get home?" Or like just some small signs like.
Yep, they'll be talking to you like that. If they like you,
they will probably give you some body language.
Ooh,
they might
tell me more.
They might sit next to you. They might try to sit next to you when you and your friends go to the movies. They may try to just be closer to you. Yeah, I think so. They might, like, if you're sitting somewhere, they might tilt their legs towards you, tilt your body towards you. I saw somewhere on the internet that if somebody's feet are pointing towards you when they're standing and talking to you, that's a sign.
That's so interesting.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have another one, but I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
If they like you, they will
serve you.
Yeah.
Like,
make you dinner.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I won your heart, was like, I found out what was important to you and I did it. I just served you in like the little ways and the big ways. When you were sick, I couldn't drive to you because I was injured. I said, if you come over here and spend the weekend with me, I'll take care of you. And
I feel like a little way too would be if you go and get coffees with them, even if you're around friends, like they will grab your drink too from the counter and come bring it to
all
you.
The little things. It's like, I'm serving you specifically and intentionally.
And these are all things.
Serving you charm right now.
Serving charm. Yeah, these are all things you'll probably do for them too if you like them.
Well, if you're not doing it, get out of your little shell and do some of these little things.
You got to give them a sign, some encouragement if you want this thing to happen.
If they like you, they
will show you pictures on their phone.
Oh, okay.
And not like random, like, oh, let me show you proof that I have a car.
They're not bragging. They're not bragging.
Yes. You'll know if it's a brag because I've been there.
I don't think I've ever been with anybody who was like, let me show you, blah, blah, blah.
Let me show off. Yeah. Not into that. But they'll be like, oh, I have a dog. And you might be like, oh, let me see. and they'll show you a picture. What?
I did this for
you. Did you? Oh, I just meant like pictures on your phone. Like, oh, here's a picture of my nephew and niece, or here's a picture of me and my grandma, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, just like a little step into sharing your life with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, ask me.
Yeah. Okay. If they like you, they'll
take up your space and they'll take your stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So like,
that's a very obvious sign. Like if you steal their sweatshirt or something.
Yeah, because like you could just be in like a friends with benefits scenario, or like a, you know, like we're sleeping together but it's not that serious type of thing. But then you start to develop feelings or whatever, or you guys are just friends. But like they'll just start taking your things.
Yes.
Like, you know, I think I stole a hoodie from you pretty early on.
Yeah.
And you have stolen several things that were mine and now yours.
Yes.
So, yeah, even as friends, it's like, wow, I have this thing of yours and you're not getting it back. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have any more?
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of a couple scenarios in my life where I wasn't sure if they liked me. And this was even when they did all the right things. Like if we went on a hike together and if they brought a lunch for it, or if
Ooh, I've got one.
And I still wasn't sure. So I'm trying to think of what they could do to really help me make sure.
Okay. You think of that and ask me.
Okay. If they like you, they will
talk about you. So when they introduce you to their people, they'll be like, oh, you're so-and-so. Oh, I heard so much about you, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. It's like if you start to pick up that they have brought you up in conversation outside of you being there, they probably like you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got one.
Okay. If they like you,
they will kiss you.
Oh, well, that's kind of a very obvious sign.
Okay, hear me out. I did have one time where I was the forward one. And mind you, this was in a situation where we were both in like a Christian type of circle. This was in college, and they seemed cool. Like they seemed not super strict Christian type of person, and I wasn't like, I'm not going to kiss somebody, right? So anyway.
You weren't that type of Christian. You were like.
No, like, I wasn't like, I'm not going to kiss you till our wedding day. No way.
Ew, what?
I know, it's like crazy. So I was like, okay, yeah, we're interested in each other. We're attracted to each other. We're watching movies. We're doing this and that. And I don't know. They could have been gay. I don't think they were. They could have been. I don't think they were. I said at the end of the night, we had gone on a few dates. We were showing up to things together. Like they were showing me signs that they liked me. And I think I was showing them signs too. And then I said, oh, well, like it was the end of the night. And I said, I was like, you can kiss me, you know, or something. I was really afraid to, but I chose to be brave. And I said, you can kiss me. And because I was like, who wouldn't want to kiss this?
You were not wrong.
Who wouldn't want to kiss this unless they're gay and they didn't know it, or unless they were afraid, not ready for a relationship, whatever. And he looked at me kind of deer in headlights. And I was a little surprised by that. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. And he just didn't know what to say. So I have no idea what was going on in his head. But that's a good sign that
he didn't like you.
It's a good sign that things weren't going to move forward in that direction, unless he came to me later and said, this is why I got really weird. But
he never did.
He never did. So that should have been a sign to me that I should not pursue that, because I didn't get any communication about that. So yeah, a sign that they like you is they will want to kiss you.
I think I have two more.
Okay. They will like you. Wait, what was the question?
That's not the question.
Wait, what is it?
If they like you.
If they like you, they will.
They will change. They will change to accommodate you. Like, so I'm not saying like they'll change who they are fundamentally as a person. I would have some feelings about that.
Don't be a pushover. Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should change who you are fundamentally to be with somebody. Although it is awesome to grow. But what I mean is, like, you don't like cussing. So when I was with you, like, I like cussing. I think profanity is fun.
Let me correct myself from your perception of me.
Okay.
I was totally fine with it. I just grew up with beliefs that made me like afraid to cuss, I feel like.
Right. So at the time I was trying to respect you and was like, okay, she likes this or she doesn't like this. So I like kind of changed how I communicated around you, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So like I didn't like fundamentally change who I was. I just like changed to accommodate how you like to be.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
Even as friends, I was like, okay, well, Megan doesn't like this type of person. If I'm like super crazy and crass and whatever, it was just how I am with like my dude friends.
Yeah.
You don't like that. So like if they start to change to accommodate you, then they like you.
Okay. Yeah.
I have one more.
Yes.
Do you have any?
They like you. Okay, wait. If they like you.
Do you have any?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm good on
I've
it.
got one more, so ask me.
If they like you, they will.
They will show an interest and like learn about what your interests are. Even if they don't really like them off the bat. Like, you like jazz. I literally have a journal. As a kid, I was probably like 12 or something, and I said, I do not like jazz. I was using like...
That was so funny. We found it in one of your keepsake boxes. You were using a new pen because you
It was a
wrote...
calligraphy pen.
Yeah, you were writing, I'm writing with my new pen. I don't know how old you were.
I think I was like 12 or...
Yeah, and then at the very end of your random lines of just like talking about
Scrabble.
whatever you wanted, you said, and I do not like jazz at all. And it was like underlined. And I thought that was the funniest thing because I love jazz. I grew up listening to swing music, like just all that type of thing. She did not. She's a rock lady. So.
Yes.
What were you saying about that?
So they'll start to show an interest in what you're interested in.
And I invited you to a jazz concert, even though I knew you didn't like jazz, but you showed up for it. And
As friends, people. As friends.
Yeah. Yeah. You showed up for something that I was interested in. But not only that, you weren't just like, ugh, yeah, I'll come with you and do something you like. It was more of like you, like, I don't know.
You and I were vibing, and I knew you liked jazz and you wanted to show me this part of you. So I said yes. And that probably sent a sign to you that, oh, yes, she actually probably does like me.
Yeah. And I've never been into certain types of movies. And you showed me Smallville.
Yes.
It's the series. Yeah, Superman. And I was like, okay, I'll open myself up to something new. That's the beautiful thing about...
You watched all 10 seasons.
Yeah, it was really good. That's the beautiful thing about liking somebody and they like you is you expand your viewpoint of life. You learn about new interests and you don't have to like the same things, and you shouldn't be butthurt if the other person doesn't fully love what you love.
Weird. Like, you should be an individual person. But I've seen too many unhealthy relationships where it's like one person shuts down the other person's likes. Or I've seen like friends who are like, oh, I think I like this person or whatever. And then that person like shows zero interest in what they're interested in.
Right. Yeah. Or they'll like one certain part of you, one certain interesting part of you, but then like the weird parts of you they don't really get or care about. Like,
yeah. So if they like you, they'll show an interest in the things that you're interested in, and they'll ask you about those things. Even if they're like, normally their eyes would glaze over or they wouldn't pursue those things on their own. Like, they'll just start to have a respect for and an interest in what you like.
They make you feel safe enough to bring parts of you to the table.
Yeah, they make you feel seen.
Yeah.
And celebrated.
And
that's
special.
The other thing.
Yes.
So that's it. That's what I got.
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to know what you guys think in the comments. We want to know what you think. And thanks for letting us share our thoughts on relationships.
Yeah,
And
go out there and get the person that you like.
yeah. Sometimes I feel like because we're married, it's like, oh, we're kind of done with all that stuff. But it's really nice to talk about because you live your whole life looking forward to a relationship. Most people, I don't know, at least for me.
Some people are like happily single.
So yeah, some people are like, it's not for me. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we celebrate that as well.
Yeah. Well, what do you got for us, babe?
Well,
What little encouragement are you going to leave for us?
we've been ending our podcasts on a somewhat of a benediction. Is that what it's called?
I think so. It's just like we grew up in the church. So it was like, here's the parting blessing or encouragement.
Yeah, and you're really good at that. So you've done the last few ones.
That's just because I am working on myself all the time.
Constantly.
So, but what do you got for us, babe?
Okay, I'm nervous.
Why?
I don't know. I will send us all off today with the encouragement to, lately we've been hanging out with some friends that are new to us. And it's weird because it's a little nerve-wracking. A lot of our friends we've known for a long time, and it's a new thing to have new friends and to actually hang out with them. So I found myself a little bit nervous to just, what do they think of us? What do they think of me? Just sharing interesting parts of yourself and hoping that they'll receive it well. So what I realized last night is I'm just going to show up in this friendship. I'm going to show up fully as myself. I don't know. I might still be kind of shy with it, but just like I'm not going to act out of insecurity. I'm not going to be extra bubbly. I'm not going to try to be like this character. I just realized I'm going to try my best to relax into myself and just be in my own body and experience like hanging out with these people that we care about. And so I guess I would just send us all off with trying to relax into your own self when you're around other people, whether they be people you've known for a long time, which is obviously easier, or people that you're just meeting, not feeling like you have to put on a show. And that's what I got.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're awesome. I adore you.
Thank you.
All right.
So yeah, that's what I got for you. I hope
I really like it.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we will see you next week at our place. We love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.